Well, hello everybody, and happy hump day. My name is Colleen Magnus, and you are Creating with Colleen. I come to you live every Wednesday on Facebook, and I usually create something, but today I do have some samples to show you, but I really want to explore the new catalog with you that is coming out May 3rd. So I'm going to give everybody just a chance to jump on, but as a demonstrator, we get to pre-order our product the month before. Not only do we save a minimum of 20%, up to 30%, but we get it the month before because we have to have it in our hands to show you the product. So keep in mind, if you ever want to purchase a starter kit, it's $125 in product. You only pay $99, and you could pick your supplies from the pre-order that we get to get out of the annual catalog. So this is what the front of our catalog looks like. It's absolutely beautiful, and I was just intrigued with this gorgeous card. So I looked all through the catalog trying to find it, and it's actually in a suite that I'm going to share with you today because I cannot show you the inside of the catalog, but I can show you the product. So with this suite, it's adorable. It's called Hues of Happiness, and this is actually the designer paper. So I'll get more into that as we keep going. But let's get started. So this is your catalog. If you, again, it starts May 3rd. If you don't have a catalog and you would like one, please private message me and I'll tell you how you could get that. If you are an existing customer or if you have ordered from me in the past year, Stampin Up will mail you the catalog. I sign up for it. They send it through Stampin Up and you should already be receiving it, or I will personally send it to your priority mail. But it's a great catalog. I don't know how Stampin' Up! Does it year after year after year. So y'all know we have in colors. Basically for the colors, we have 4 basic groups: brights, regals, subtles, and neutrals. But then every year, Stampin' Up! Comes out with 5 new in colors. They are in for 2 years, and then they rotate out. And the reason they do that, because that keeps us on trend with the colors that are out there. So this, I hope they all fit in the screen. These are our new in colors. So basically you have, and I'll show you the cardstock too because it'll show you a little better, but you have Starry Sky, Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet, Orchid Oasis, and Parakeet Party. So let me show you that in the cardstock. Maybe that'll come across a little bit better. So this is Starry Sky. It's a beautiful, beautiful blue. This is Starry Sky. This is Tahitian Tide. Almost reminds you a lot of Tempting Turquoise, but very, very pretty. So is Tempting Turquoise. This is called Sweet Sorbet. Let me get my fingers. This is Sweet Sorbet. Very pretty color too. I really like this. I've stamped in this color. I'm going to show you a sample of a card that I stamped in. I love the ink with this also. Then this is called Orchid Oasis. So Orchid Oasis we have right here. I have a terrible shadow on my screen. There we go. And then we have Parakeet Party. So the colors for the 2022 to 2024 are nice and bright. I think like they're just going to make a great addition to what we already have. So in those colors, naturally, we have lots of things that come with it. We have designer paper. So this is our designer paper. And again, this comes in also the other color groups. So with the designer paper, you have the brights, the regals, the subtles, all of those. But these are the prints that they will come in. So it's a 6x6 pack. And it's in color 6x6. You get 40 sheets for each of 2 double-sided designs. So you have this really nice plaid here, along with stripes. We can always use that. Then when you turn them over, you have dots and then little flowers. So these will be a nice addition when you're creating your cards. So once again, Parakeet Party. Then you have Orchid Oasis on each side. Then you have your Sweet Sorbet, gorgeous color. You have your Tahitian Tide. There, and then last but not least, that gorgeous Starry Sky. So those are your designer papers. So Julie, Glenn, Sherry, hey there. What do y'all think? I love the colors. So in addition to that, now this I thought was really cool. Stampin' Up! Came out with a glimmer paper in the in colors, and what I didn't realize when I bought it was that it's a glimmer. So it has this beautiful glimmer to it. I hope you can see that. And again, all of your in colors. And the reason I'm saying them is because I have to learn them. So this is kind of like my little index cards that, you know, when I go through, I could practice my colors. So once again, Starry Sky. Now these are not double-sided because they're glimmer paper, but they're gorgeous. So that's Starry Sky, Tahitian Tide, Parakeet Party, Sweet Sorbet, and Orchid Oasis. Now y'all know me, I'll probably butcher these names up eventually, but I'm really trying hard to learn them. So those are like the cardstocks and papers, and of course you're going to see these colors in other designer papers too. So these are the decorative matte dots in the in colors, and I can't see the very top one, so let me open these and pull them out. Almost reminds me of those, remember the candy dots? Anybody who is my age should know these. So here's your candy dots. Don't eat them, put them on your cards. They'll make beautiful embellishments. They come in all 5 colors. So hey Linda, I'm glad you're here, and Julie, I'm glad you're here. Julie says the new colors scream beach to me. I totally agree. Bright colors always mean summer. And actually I am just, you know, in Virginia here, we've had a pretty cool spring, but I'm seeing so many pictures of people who have snow right now. I mean, it snowed in Iowa, it snowed in Ohio. The Canadian pictures are just off the hook. So I'm not going to complain about a cool spring, but I am looking forward to that warm summer. So what we have next in the 5 in colors, it's a metallic woven ribbon. It's 10 yards and it's 1/8 of an inch. So it's really thin, but I had to tie some bows with it the other day and it ties beautifully. It's nice and soft and it's a glittery. So you're going to get some extra bling. So again, Parakeet Party, Starry Sky. I don't know how well y'all can see these. Very pretty though, Starry Sky. Orchid Oasis. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, that would go great with Highland Heather, with our gorgeous grape. Stampin' Up! Colors all work well together. This is your Sweet Sorbet. And here you have Tahitian Tide. You're absolutely right, Julie. Julie said Tahitian Tide glitter is like Cinderella paper. It really is. Looks just like her dress. Beautiful. So those are in colors. Plus, in addition to the in colors, you also had, so you're not looking at anything blank, let me put this here. You also had a Tea Boutique cards and envelopes. So Tea Boutique is a suite on page 12 and 13 of the new catalog. And I actually had purchased them, but for my team, we have what's called a Better Your Best event every quarter. And of course, we want our door prizes to be new product. So I went to Tanya's yesterday, picked up her projects, gave her my projects, gave her the door prizes, totally forgetting I could show them to you today. So I apologize, but there will be some happy people receiving new product on our team. But it's Tea Boutique cards and envelopes, and they're in the bright colors, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Keep in mind, we still have markers, we have blends, all kinds of things. We have baker's twine in the new in colors, so you get all 5 colors. So they're going to make sure you have everything you need to create with these beautiful colors. So I had to do a card swap the other day, and I didn't have my swaps yet, so I had my in colors though. So I decided to create this card showcasing the in colors. And I think it just shows how well they all go together. So for this, thankfully this set carried over into the catalog. It's called Artistically Inked. It is the neatest stamp set because you have all this variation in color, but the Artistically Inked, and then I also used the 3D embossing folder, the painted texture. Thankfully that carried over because that was one of my favorites. But I love a texture with the strips, and it was simple. These were 1-inch strips. That was 1 1/4, and those were 1 inch. But I wanted to showcase the colors that we have here. And again, you could see how pretty they work together. So with Stampin' Up, I told you we could pre-order. There is a suite I'm getting ready to show you called Sun Prints. So one of the suites we could order. They don't let us get the entire catalog. They know they have to make us pace ourselves. But they do give us certain suites and stamp sets and punches and, of course, designer papers that we can order. So this is called Nature's Prints, and I just fell in love with it. I think it could be used for anything, for your masculine. Anytime you have anything with nature, it can be used for all types of things. So this is a stamp set, and then this is the entire suite I'm going to show you. So that is a stamp set, and then it comes with a set of dies. Now what I love about the dies is, one, there's a bunch of them. I always love that. But there's this gorgeous wreath. I'm going to show you that in a sample in a minute. You have the label here. So the words, right here, these words can fit into this label. And then you have a die that cuts out every one of these designs right here. Every single one of them. And then you also have some standalone dies. So you could just have little branches in there. So it really works well as a bundle for the Nature's Prints. Now for the paper is gorgeous. Excuse me. It is called Sun Prints, and just, again, it's just gorgeous. Just remember, the catalog never does it, the computer never does it justice, but the colors that coordinate with this are Gray Granite, Night of Navy, Pacific Point, and our new Starry Sky, of course. So this one was almost too pretty to even cut, I think. I thought, oh my goodness, we just need to make a scrapbook page, put a picture or two right here and let it roll. And then you have this beautiful design on the back. Next you have some more of these little ferns, and it's so delicate. That's what I really, really like about it. And then this here, if you've never used Gray Granite, it really is a neat color. It's a little richer than Sahara Sand and not as dark as Crumb Cake, but it's just a neat color. Then you have this piece here with your back, and the two definitely go well together. And that with that, kind of speckly. And you have this one. Looks like little dandelions. And this is nice. It's like a faint script. I always love a background like that. And then this, two, of course, stripes. Stripes and dots. You can never go wrong. So that is the Sun Prints paper. And in the suite, you also can get the Fern embossing folder. So this is really neat to have the folder. And just a great background. Y'all know I'm a texture person, so I like to have some texture in there. So I stamped with some friends the other day, and Melissa Ellis is one of my uplines, and I adore her for so many reasons. But this was a card she had made using the Sun Prints suite. So y'all can see a strip of that beautiful paper. I don't know, let me raise it a little higher. She embossed this with the Fern folder, which gave it nice texture. You're on My Mind fits beautifully in there. And you get a chance to see the wreath die. That's just cut out from basic white. And then those little standalones. That is cut out from the Starry Sky. So beautiful card. I'm a big fan of Melissa's work. And she gets credit for that. So now we did get to choose. There was another paper. And this was called Pretty Prints. So this coordinates with the suite that you just saw. And even though, since there's so many shades in here, it coordinates with so many colors. The basic colors are Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana. And let me just read them. Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, Evening Evergreen, Gorgeous Grape, Petal Pink, Rich Razzleberry, Shaded Spruce, Soft Seafoam, Soft Succulent, and Sweet Sorbet. So you are going to cover a whole host of colors with this designer paper. So here you have your design and your back. I'll just go through these quickly. And these two here, these two actually look the same, but they're not. This is more of a fern. You can see it's a little different. That's more of a fern, and that has a little bit more of a leaf. But beautiful shaded, and again, that nice dark marbled. I think this would look beautiful if you embossed it with a 3D folder. That little bit of a variation in color along with your texture. So you have this one here. So this is more your Coastal Cabana. Love that color. You have this. And this. Hey, Tracy, I'm glad you're joining us. I try to keep an eye on the screen and on the product. And then this color here, Calypso Coral. Gorgeous. And again, this coordinates with the Sunprint Suite that I just showed you. And Blackberry Bliss. This was a color that I had not used a whole lot, but I did when I was doing the New Horizons designer paper in my card last week, and just fell in love with it all over again. So this is, Gwen, this is the Pretty Prince 12 by 12 designer series paper. So as demonstrators, you can go ahead and pre-order this right now, but if not, you can all order it on May 3rd when the catalog goes live. Whoops. Okay, I have another suite to show you. This one, let me reach all the way over here and get it. Hello, Miss Kathy. This suite, it was the one I was telling you about with the new catalog. So this is called Hues of Happiness. And again, I went hunting all over because I needed to know where these flowers were. I thought, I don't think they're colored. If it is, I wish I could color like that. But this came from the designer paper. This background of this card is from the designer paper. The dies, the flowers, you just cut them out and put it together. The only thing really stamped on this card are the open leaves and those words, and that's it. So let me introduce you to Hues of Happiness. This is a stamp set. It's called Happiness Abounds. And what I love about it, I really like the font that they used for the words. And you have dies, some standalone dies I'm going to show you, but also dies that cut out every one of these images. It's so funny. You know, back in the day, we were so happy with our paper snips. They were the best scissors ever. They still are the best scissors ever. But one of the things I get asked the most when I'm creating with people is, hey, is there a die for that? They always want a die for it because it's so much easier to cut out. So you are in luck. There's a die for every flower there. And then for your words, sending many thanks for all you do. Congratulations. You are wonderful in every way. Wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. Friend, best wishes, and happy birthday. So this stamp set is going to cover a whole host of occasions. Now for those dies that I was telling you about, you have some really neat dies in here. First off, they're a mess because I use them, but there's some really special ones I want to show you. On these dies, again, all these images cut out the stamped image, but I'll show you they also cut out the designer paper. And I love when Stampin' Up does that. I love my paper that I can cut out. So you have a couple of special dies here. This die, you go along the edge, and that's what makes it look like a piece of notebook paper. So if you look on our sample here on the front cover, you could see it looks like it was ripped out of a piece of notebook paper. And that is what that die does. You also have this die here, and that kind of does the same thing, only it's more of a oblong. I don't know if you can see that. It's not the circle like a notebook paper, it's more of an oblong. But then you have this really cool die too. Let's close those. And with this die, it partly cuts and partly just imprints on this. Let me back this on a piece of white paper here so you can see that. So that is the design you get from that die. It's this die right here, which is really pretty. So you could put that in a corner of a piece of card. You could put that along the bottom of a border, but it's going to cut out some of these shapes. And then I don't know if you can see it, but it also imprints hearts and dashed lines. Just a really, really cool pattern. So those are the dies that coordinate with that. And keep in mind, as you know, that when you purchase the stamp set and the dies together, you save 20%. So Karen also loves this font, the font in that set. I do too, Karen. That's one of the first things that always catches my eye. So here now you have the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper. Lots of colors this coordinates with. You have Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Fresh Freesia, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, which is a gorgeous color, Melon Mambo, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, and Pool Party. Now I have a card that I created, but I didn't want to do a spoiler alert here because my team is making it at the Better Your Best event. So I have to wait till next week to show you that one, but I do have a gorgeous sample I'll show you in a minute. So here you have these beautiful flowers, and it's nice you have a little geometric pattern on the back. Then here's some more, and you could see all the different colors of the flowers. So you can cut it long ways and get every bit of those colors, or you can actually cut it in strips and keep the colors separate. But those are some cute little daisies. Then you have bold, beautiful colors on the background. And if I'm not mistaken, Stampin' Up, they actually paint this, their designers paint this, and that's how they make a lot of the papers. So here's some more. That's a cute pattern on the back. And then here, again, this is featuring that Starry Sky, the blue that is in here. And then this is that part of that color they use on the front of the cover. But these two here, these are the flowers that you can cut out. I mean, I just love they do that. So you have a die that cuts out this large flower and then the smaller one. Again, another beautiful painted color. And then these are some more of the flowers that you can cut out. So you can get a bunch of these flowers for your cards. Just take the whole sheet and cut it out. And what I would do, of course, I just kind of take a scissors and cut around the flower to get a piece of that out. And then that's when I go ahead and take it to my die cutting machine and cut the flowers individually. But you can cut those flowers, you can cut the smaller flowers, and even the leaves. We even have dies for the leaves. So everybody who is always looking for a die should be happy with that one. Last but not least in the suite, we have the Glossy Dots Assortment. So these are really pretty right here. And they would make a nice addition to every, all the other cards that you have. So here's a card that my team member and dear friend Joyce Daniels made, and I just thought it was stunning. The only thing stamped on this card are the words. Wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. The leaves are die cut from the paper. Of course, that is the paper, and then so are these. So you can see just how pretty it is when it all comes together. So those are the two suites that I bought. I always try to pace myself a little bit, and that'll give me enough to get started to work with the in colors and the suites. And then we did do a Stampin' Up event, and we each got a stamp set. So this was the one that I received, and this is called Limited Edition. So this stamp set is great because these are all things that you can put on the back of your card. I think that's just something that makes your hand-stamped card even more personal. You can have a paper hug from me, one-of-a-kind creation. The other thing that's important about this stamp set is if you ever want to sell your cards, you can sell them in specialty stores, at craft shows, wherever your heart desires, but they do need to have the copyright Stampin' Up symbol on there. So that's why this is a great set, because it Keeps you legal with Stampin' Up. Everybody knows it's Stampin' Up artwork, and it has a little copyright symbol underneath most of these that you can use. So that's limited edition. And then I had 2 more cards to show you. This one here, my dear friend Michelle Burkett, she loves a good brewery. She really does. I mean, she knows where all of them are at. So this was a card. This is actually a stamp set called Brewed for You on page 83. If you like your beer, you're going to love this stamp set. It's adorable. So it says, I owe you one or several. And then on the inside, oh, ale, yes. So anyways, that is her card that she made. And then Lisa Freeman, my friend that I stamp with also, she did this one. So this is a stamp set. I don't have the sets, but I can show you the samples. Called Wisteria Wishes. And this is on page 92. So what's really cool about this is you can make wisterias hanging down, but they're also showing it to where you can turn it this way, stamp them in green, and you can also have Christmas trees. So I think that's pretty cool. So that, no creating today, but hopefully I stirred some excitement for the new ink colors and everything that we're going to have coming out. I really, really do. I just love the products. Again, I have been a demonstrator for over 20 years, and I get just as excited today as I did 20 years ago. And I think the products just keep getting better and better. So on May 3rd, if you want to order any of these, of course, you can go to my blog, creatingwithcolleen.com. You can request my newsletter there. I'll keep you abreast of everything. And if you place any orders out of the regular catalog or the mini catalog this month and your order is less than $150, please use this host code right here. That is my April host code. But it's going to be another great year of stamping. I hope you all will join me, and thank you for being here today. Let's see, Gwen says, oh, you didn't have these sweets on your wish list, but guess what? Girl, you know it, Gwen. Seeing is believing. And that's why I also, even as a demonstrator, I don't order, everything up front, because I have to see samples. I am a visual person, and I promise you, you show me a sample of a gorgeous card, I am on it, and I need that bundle. So blessings to you all. Have a great week. Have a happy hump day. And I will be back next Wednesday creating with new product for you. I'm excited. So thank you so much for joining me today. And if there's ever anything I could do for you, please shoot me a private message or contact me. I'm here to help any way I can. Thanks so much, all of you. Have a creative day.